About a few hundred years ago, a guy named Luca Pacioli invented accounting to keep track of his business performance. This set the foundation for many key accounting concepts that we still use until this day. Even when it plays an important part in our society, people don't really know what accountants really do. You know how you go out into parties and you bump into someone and then you ask, "Hey, what do you do?" And then he said, "I'm an accountant." And then you said, "Okay, cool." And then you both just look at each other awkwardly for 2 seconds. And then that guy just left and you never see him again. When an accounting student graduates from college and begin the corporate rat race, there are two common paths in the accounting industry that they can go into. They can either choose to work in private accounting, or they can choose to suffer and work in public accounting as either a tax preparer or an auditor. Working in private accounting means that you are the typical accountant that usually appears on TV shows or movies. Your job is to keep track of the business performance, analyze whether your company is profitable, or you can create a budget plan for your company. You can also commit fraud, but that's a very niche segment of the industry. Public accounting is usually considered miserable due to the long hours, as the industry typically demands tight deadlines, but having this experience most of the time will lead to better job opportunities in the future. You can work in public accounting as an auditor or a tax preparer. An auditor is the guy to check the box. If the job of the typical accountants is to compile their business information and put them on the financial reports, the job of an auditor is to make sure that those numbers are not made up. Tax accountants are pretty self-explained. Their job is to deal with tax regulations from the IRS at the federal level, all the way down to local tax regulations at the many municipal levels. Their clients vary anywhere from the big corporations to the guy living next to you in your neighborhood, or the rich people, whoever needs their help to pay or not pay their taxes. People don't usually understand what accountants do because their work is mostly in the background, but their role plays an essential part in the modern society. College students usually choose accounting as their majors because it has a decent career trajectory after college. You don't have to spend a ton of time and money to become a doctor or a lawyer, and you don't have to deal with all of the crazy stuff that engineering majors have to deal with. Overall, being an accountant doesn't sound so bad, especially when you don't have to talk about your job at any social occasions. That is until you run into another accountant.